Test 1, 2. There we go. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. Test.
Sandy Sauter's been playing lights out. She played great last game. The last few games, she's just been balling.
Are we already plugged into the live stream?
Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Testing live from the MAC 911 WRMU Mount Union Women's Basketball. Test 1, 2. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Can you hear me?
What's up, Brendan? How's it going? Making sure we're all, it looks like we're all hooked up okay. Good stuff. Hey guys, have a good broadcast. Huh? Oh,
Okay. You're leaving me down there with Justin Kelly. I told him. I said it's Ryan. No, I said Justin, you crossed me one time today. I'm sending you home. He's like, whoa, whoa, what? I was like, one insult, and you're out. And he's like, I really insult you. It's fun. I was like, it's not funny to me though. I hope not. I hope it just doesn't talk. Probably will. He absolutely will.
Turn it up. Test, test. All right, Jared, can you hear me? Testing,
Test.
1, 2.
Yep, yeah, I think we're good.
Check, check. Type it in the chat if you can hear us, if we sound good. If we're too loud, we're not loud enough. Maybe he turned Q off. See, I think he's going to turn us back on cue here. That way we can... All right, it's on. Test, test. Do we sound good? Text us in the Skype chat if we sound good. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Check, 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 check. say something to test it. Testing. Zanny,
1, 2, testing.
Brennan, you
From the
definitely
Mac.
sound good, I think. Zanny Sauter doing a great job with ball movement this game. Let's see if... Test. Do we sound good, Jared? Need to be louder, need to be softer.
Okay, let's look at their names. Bryn Serbin, Molly Palachek, Emily Brock, Kate Newland, Miranda Wems?
It should have a
Jaden.
pronunciation under it. He said turn it up just a little bit, Brendan. Probably both mics. Check. How does that sound?
Checking, 1, 2.
Yeah, that definitely sounds a little bit better just off the rip, I think.
Wamas.
Check.
On here, it has her as number 12, but here she's
You'll probably just have to guess then, whichever one.
32.
Is she a starter? Is she circled as a starter?
No, I'm just going through the names.
Yeah, you'll just have to check the jersey number.
Jaden Hale, Annie Wetkesser, Abby Weeks, Lexi Jacobs, Jacqueline Yackel, Kate Iliff, yep. Martrina Parks, Alyssa Stoller, Ashley Tressler, Emily Mesher, Sydney Ward.
When are we going on? 2:55?
Yeah.
Okay.
Third in the conference, 8-3, 14-4. Rough.
Jeez, dude. Their best player is shooting 59% from the floor this year.
What is it?
59% from the floor. Emily Mesher, 58.9%.
Wow.
That's crazy.
She's 6 foot. She's a center.
Yeah, and then Abby Weeks is their second best player. She's shooting 42.6%. Averaging about
You can have
10 points
these
a
and
game.
need the
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need this, I think. Yep. Cool. Alright.
Be right back.
Okay.
think it'll be a pretty good game. What about you?
We actually could get blown out.
Last time we played them, it was 58-57. Yeah, we only lost by 1 point last time. They have won 4 in a row, though. We could mention that during pregame. Did you get our starters circled? Got. Can I borrow that for a second? Thanks.
Guys, get a water.
Our men's team keeps playing really close games the first half, and then like the final few minutes they pull away.
Yeah, that was the Wellington game back over break. It was basically tied the entire game, and then we won by like 15.
Yeah, it's like the final 2 minutes they come alive and then just drop points on people. Same thing with John Carroll. Weren't we down by a few points and then just all of a sudden hit a big run and put it away?
Yeah. We got about a minute here.
Yeah.
Do we tell him to?
I don't believe that we did tell him to put us on in a minute. He could probably just stop the next song and play 2 PSAs and send us on.
Until we go live.
Zanny Sauter is not getting a start today. I think it's because they're so much bigger than us. They're taller.
Yeah.
She's really good, but she's only 5'4". Here we go. What's going on with this thing? Yes, and then play 2 PSAs. Which is just clicking the HD button. Shouldn't we be able to hear the music right now? That's one thing that's getting me is we can't hear the music. Like, we can't hear the station. There was 5 minutes left in the song, said. We got to be getting pretty close here. He's counting us down from the final 30 seconds. All right, here we go.
From the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex on the campus of the University of Mount Union, you are tuned in live to 91.1 WRMU for Mount Union Purple Raiders women's basketball. Hello, everybody. A good afternoon to you on this first day of February. Brendan Devine here with you alongside Riley Sullivan as we are getting ready for the final month of basketball for the Mount Union Purple Raiders women's basketball team. The Raiders entering at 10-8. They welcome the Ohio Northern Polar Bears, who are 14-4 and 8-3 in the OAC and third in the conference. Riley, getting ready for the day. It's a big showdown here as the Raiders welcome a really good team.
Yeah, absolutely. Ohio Northern winners of 4 in a row. They've done a really good job, but Mount Union, last time these two teams matched up, only lost by a point, so expect a really good matchup today. Ohio Northern has the size, but I think Mount Union has the advantage in the perimeter shot and the speed.
Yeah, it's a big day here for Mount Union as they are trying to gear up for a potential OAC conference tournament run, and sitting in the bottom half of the rankings at 4-7 in the conference, currently 8th right now in the standings, sitting behind a Wilmington team that they did just beat last Saturday. We'll get to that game shortly, and they're playing really good basketball. They had a really good game Wednesday night against John Carroll. Almost knocked off the Blue Streaks. We'll get to those couple games in a second, but for now we'll pause for the national anthem here in Alliance. Back here on WRMU, the Raiders getting set to take on Ohio Northern. We'll take a look at the starting lineups here real quick. First for the visiting Polar Bears, starting for Ohio Northern will be sophomore guard Jaden Hale, senior guard Abby Weeks, sophomore guard Alexi Jacobs, senior guard Jacqueline Yankel, and senior center Emily Mesher. Taking a look at the starting lineup for Mount Union. Getting the start today at junior guard Elena Rao, sophomore guard Corinna Maynard, freshman guard Madison Hensley, a junior forward Sarah Hessel, a sophomore forward Haley Peoples O'Neill, and should be coming off the bench Riley. Halfway through the year, the Raiders are now down to just 2 seniors on the roster, Zany Sauter and Hannah Schaefer. I think those are 2 girls today that you're going to have to look to have a really good game with. The only 2 seniors for the Raiders trying to lead this team to the tournament.
Yeah, I agree. Those are the leaders of this team, and really those are who the rest of our women look up to. So look for them to have a big game. I know Zanny isn't starting tonight, but she will certainly see the floor some and be able to pass the ball around, get her teammates involved, and that's what she does best. So look for scoring from Zanny, and then from Schaefer, look for her to be an impact player during this game.
Yeah, both coming off the bench today, and one girl that has really caught everyone by surprise, a freshman from Black Lake, Ohio, Madison Hensley, getting the start today at guard, and she's going to be matched up with Jaden Hale for Ohio Northern, a potential good defensive and offensive matchup for the Raiders here today, as the Raiders do win the tip. Maynard leading point, now route over to Hensley. Hensley pulls up, and right on cue gets Mount Union on the board first. 2-0 Raiders, 9:45 to play in the first. Other end here, stolen by Hessel on the fast break. Hessel inside to Rao. Rao blocked by Hale, and the rebound goes to Abby Weeks. Weeks on the other end to Jacobs. Now inside, Mesher backing down Peoples O'Neill. Now back out. Hale pulls up. Mid-range, can't hit. Rebound goes to Hessel. Rao right wing. Over to Hessel, now Maynard, left wing. Inside, Rao kicks it out to Hensley, wide open 3, can't hit. Rebound goes to Jacqueline Yankel. And the Purple Raiders off to a good defensive start and seem to be in a good offensive rhythm, leading 2-0. Weeks getting inside to Mesher. Mesher inside. And that was too easy against Haley Peoples O'Neill. Riley Emily Mesher, really good offensive power for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best players for that Ohio Northern Polar Bears women's basketball team. She just knows how to body people in the paint. Her movement is really good, and she's got great size at 6 feet tall. So watch for her to be a huge impact player this game for the Polar Bears.
She causes a little frustration for Peoples and Neal inside. Ball goes out of bounds with 8:21 to go, and the Raiders will have it on their baseline. Hensley, they work it around the perimeter. Maynard looking for Hensley here. Hessel now with a Rao, right wing. Rao double teamed. Tries to get inside to Hessel. Hessel picks it up. Now Rao gets it stolen away, ripped out of her hands by Jaden Hale. A turnover there for the Raiders as Sarah Hessel intercepts the pass from Jacqueline Yankel. Hessel, other end, behind the back. Gives it out to Rao, top of the key. Defended by Hale. Rao loses the ball, picked up by the Polar Bears. Other end here, Jacqueline Yankel pulls up from mid-range. Can't hit, in and out. And Mesher grabs the rebound, double teamed. And we'll get a foul, our first foul of the game. It's going to go against Corinna Maynard. With 7:29 to play, we can already see the impact Mesher makes for Ohio Northern.
She's definitely going to cause the Purple Raiders some trouble throughout this game. She's lucky that wasn't called a jump ball. Corinna Maynard certainly fighting for that. Ended up being a reach-in, but still great physical play so far through the first 3 minutes of this game.
As Mesher backs down inside and gives Ohio Northern a 4-2 lead. As Brianna Gassman ties it up. Sarah Turley and Brianna Gassman checked into the ball game.
And this full court press defense, I think, is really what the Raiders should focus on. I think that they have the speed against Ohio Northern, just Ohio Northern has the side. So if you can get them out of their comfort zone, it would bode well for the Raiders.
Emily Mesher from about 10 feet out can't hit. Rebound goes to Elena Rao. Rao pushing Maynard for three. She got it. Corinna Maynard gives Mount Union a 7-4 lead, 6.5 left to play, first quarter. Hale, as Ohio Northern works it around the perimeter. Out to Hale for three. Air balls, a rebound goes to Weeks. Weeks gets fouled on the way up underneath, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. Foul going against Sarah Turley. There's a bunch of subs check into the game for both teams. Hannah Schaefer, Annika Sweeney, and Zanny Sauter, as we see both seniors that now into the ball game for Mount Union. Weeks can't hit the first end of the two free throws. Bryn Serbin checked into the ball game for Ohio Northern. Martrina Parks also into the ball game for the Polar Bears, as Weeks does hit the second. And so at 7-5, Mount Union over Ohio Northern. Slow over 6 to play, first quarter. Sweeney gets a pick from Gassman. Now over to Sauter, left wing. A pick from Schaefer. Picks up a dribble, gives it to Sweeney. Now over to Gassman, back out to Sauter. Sauter pulls up a long three, in and out, can't hit. Rebound goes to Emily Brock. Other end here for Ohio Northern. Brock, a long straightaway three. Off the back iron, rebound goes to Serbin. A new shot clock for the Polar Bears. Emily Mesher backing down Gassman, and she can't hit. Around the rim, can't fall. Under 5.5 left to play, first quarter, 7-4 Raiders. Cross-court pass from Turley to Sauter. Sauter defended by Serbin. Now to Schaefer, backing down Parks, and we'll get a foul.
The Raiders are certainly getting lucky here early. Emily Mesher's had two wide open misses on our end of the floor, and that doesn't happen to her often. She's shooting about 58% on the season, almost 59%. So for her to be missing those types of looks is not common. The Raiders can't bank on that being consistent throughout the game.
Foul went against Martrina Parks. And so Mount Union keeps the ball. Sarah Turley almost had a wide open layup, but lost her dribble. Picks it up, gives it to Schaefer. Schaefer driving inside, and we're getting another foul. And I think that's also going against Martrina Parks. So 2 fouls on Parks here on the same possession. And those are the only 2 fouls here today for Ohio Northern. Izzy Palamone has checked into the ball game for the Raiders. Schaefer to Sauter. Sauter thought about 3, pulls up, now hits a long 2, can't hit, and the rebound goes to Schaefer. Annika Sweeney now, left wing 3. Around the rim, can't fall. And the rebound goes to Sydney Ward. Wow. That would have been a huge 3-ball for the Raiders, as they've had a couple close misses. Other end here for Ohio Northern. Bryn Serban tries a long 3. She can't hit. Rebound goes to Sauter. Mount Union pushes. 4:20 to play, first quarter. Inside to Palamone. Palamone trying to back down. Her man is Ward and misses the layup. Rebound on the floor goes to Kate Iliff. Other end here for the Polar Bears. A long scoreless scoring drought for both teams here. Sydney Ward, foul on the way up by Palamone, and the Polar Bears will have a chance to tie it at the line as Elena Rao checks back into the ball game for Sarah Turley, and Jaden Hale checks into the ball game for Abby Weeks.
And Brendan, you just mentioned there hasn't been much scoring this first quarter. We have to look at the last matchup between these two teams. Only 58 and 57 points scored respectively, so don't expect this one to be a barn burner, but certainly expect it to be close. I think these teams match up really well. Each one of them has the perfect counter to the other team's strength, so it's going to be a good game today.
Sydney Ward misses the first free throw, but nails the second, so it's 7-6 Raiders over Ohio Northern. Sweeney to Rao. Rao thought about a 3, but a man gets in her face. Now Sauter behind the back, trying to go through the lane, and we'll get a travel call on Zany Sauter. She tried to get a little fancy with that one. Raiders bringing the full court press here on Ohio Northern, as they have done all quarter long. Serban, as they try and get it inside the Ward, but Schaefer there with a nice defense. And yeah, Riley, we talked about this past Wednesday night, Mount Union leading second seed John Carroll all night long. But in the final 4 minutes, the Blue Streaks were able to come from behind and just win by 4. This Raiders team, a lot of perseverance no matter who they play.
Yeah, and you have to think there's only 2 seniors left on this team, so this is a really young team. They're still learning how to win. They're learning how to improve. They'll only get better as the season goes on, so look for them to win games like that in the next year or two. It won't always be a quick loss there towards the end of a game.
As Annie Sauter tries to hit a long 3, can't hit. Rebound goes to Kate Iliff. 8-7 your score. Ohio Northern over Mount Union. Now a long 3 here from Emily Brock. She can't hit, and the rebound goes to Schaefer. Schaefer pushes coast to coast, loses the ball, picked up by Brock. Brock finds her man in Serban. Serban loses the dribble, falls on it, and we're going to jump ball between Sauter and Serban. A little sloppy play here on both ends, as a large substitution here for Mount Union. Sarah Hessel, Corinna Maynard, and Madison Hensley all check back into the ball game for the Raiders.
What a high IQ play by Serban to just jump on it. She knew the possession arrow was going to go to her team, so they end up with the ball. Ohio Northern, fresh start.
Hale now over to Yankel for 3. She cans it. And Ohio Northern on a scoring run here. 11-7. Rao pulls up for 3. She connects. What an answer from Elena Rao, junior. 11-10, under 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Closely contested matchup here in the first quarter in Alliance. Hale kicks it out. Servant, corner three ball. Good. 14-10. 2 to play. Polar Bears lead the Purple Raiders. Elena Rao gives it off to Maynard. Right wing. Mount Union trying to slow things down here a little bit. Have themselves a good possession. Inside to Peoples O'Neill. Backing down Ward. Fight to get possession, but we're going to get a lane violation out here with Peoples O'Neill. Another turnover for the Raiders as Emily Mesher checks back into the ball game for Ohio Northern.
Something to keep your eye on here with Ohio Northern. Typically, they are a big style offense. They run through their centers, through their forwards. Today they've been hitting threes at a pretty high clip. Their season average only 29.5%, and I think they've made 2 out of 3 already this game.
As Kate Isla finds Jaden Hale underneath, a good connection there. Elena Rao can't hit that three, and the loose rebound will get a out of bounds call going against Ohio Northern, so the Raiders will get the ball back. 16-10 Ohio Northern, 1:11 to play. As Brianna Gassam checks back into the ball game and Kelsey Glass into the game, her first minutes on the floor today. Glass has had a lot of minutes recently over the last few weeks off the bench. Fresh shot clock for the Raiders, 1:11 to play, 16-10 Ohio Northern. Hemsley, right wing, gives it off to Gassman. Now over to Hessel, now over to Maynard, working around the perimeter. Inside, Gassman drives the baseline, reverse layup, can't hit. Rebound goes to Jacobs. Jacobs, now to Yankel. Yankel thought about a three, now drives the lane, a nice layup there for Jacqueline Yankel. 18-10 Ohio Northern. Other end here, Hensley tries a three, can't hit. Rebound goes to Yankel. Three seconds left in the first quarter. 18-10 Ohio Northern. Inside, Mesher. Backing down, can't hit her layup. Rebound goes to Hale. Now here's Jacobs, gets it out. Iliff, the jumper, can't hit. Rebound goes to Gassman. 10 seconds left. Gassman off the Glass. Glass thought about a three, pulls back. Now gives it inside, tries to get it to Gassman, stolen away by Iliff. 3 seconds left. Now one. At the buzzer, blocked by Hessel. And that will end the first quarter of play. 18-10 Ohio Northern over Mount Union. We'll take a break here. 91.1 WRMU. Raiders down early to Ohio Northern. Back here on 91.1 WRMU, 18-10 Ohio Northern over Mount Union. Raiders start the ball to begin the second quarter. It's Glass, Hensley, Gassman, Hessel, And Maynard on the floor for the Raiders. Hensley, right wing, thought about a three, now pulls up and hits. Big three ball there from Madison Hensley, the freshman. 18-13, Ohio Northern over Mount Union. And Riley, the Polar Bears really caught fire at the end of that first quarter.
Yeah, and you mentioned it was something that the Purple Raiders struggled with before their loss to John Carroll. They give up points just really fast. We just see it there. Ohio Northern with another three ball. They have to be able to stop the bleeding when something like that happens.
Abby Weeks connects for three and brings their lead out back to 8. Gassman pulls up and hits a long free throw. 21-15, 9 to play. Raiders bringing the pressure. Now a long two. Can't hit from Yankel. Rebound goes to Ohio Northern, and it's going to go out of bounds on Mount Union and stick with Ohio Northern. 21-15, 8:49 to play. Jacobs to inbound to Mesher, backing down Gassman. Now out to Weeks, back to Jacobs. Jacobs. Shot clock winding down. Weeks inside to Mesher. Mesher can't hit the easy layup. And the rebound goes to Gassman. Man, Emily Mesher having a tough day underneath. Glass a long three. She hits. 21-18. And this is back to a three-point ball game. Kelsey Glass, her first points of the ball game. Weeks over to Yankel, now over to Jacobs. Now a three here from Stoller. She can't hit. And we're going to get a foul going against Ohio Northern. Number 22, Jacqueline Yankel, called for the foul. No correction. That's actually Madison Hensley. As Denny Sauter, Haley Peoples-O'Neill, and Sarah Turley check into the ball game for Mount Union. So a fresh shot clock here for the Polar Bears. Weeks left wing. Gives it over to Yankel. Back to Weeks. Defended by Glass. Weeks driving, kicks it out. Serban a three. And can't rattle home. Rebound goes to Hessel. Hessel pushing it on the other end. Gives it to Glass, right wing. Inside to Peoples-O'Neill, back to Glass. Pump fakes. Now a jumper. Can't hit off the glass, and rebound goes to Stoller. We're going to get a jump ball in favor of Ohio Northern.
Now we'll see if the Raiders try and do that full court defense again or put the pressure on. It looks as if that's what they really want to do, is a half court trap.
Man-to-man, half court defense here from Mount Union. Yankel defended by Glass. Gets it across half court. Gives it back to Weeks. Over to Serban. Now back to Yankel, defended by Glass. She pulls up for a three, can't hit. Front iron. Rebound goes to Sydney Ward. Now back to Serban. Now in the corner with Stoller. Stoller gives it back to Serban. Now cross court to Yankel, over to Weeks, inside. Ward double teamed. And a 3-second violation on Sydney Ward. Man, that needs defense coming alive here.
Yeah, when teams put up points against us fast, you see us go to a more aggressive defense, and it works almost all the time. So I don't know why we don't stick with that, but obviously working out really well here to begin the second quarter.
Hannah Schaefer and Elena Rao checking into the ball game for the Purple Raiders. 6.5 to play, second quarter. 3-point ball game, 21-18 Ohio Northern. Elena Rao. Spin moves in the lane, puts it up, can't hit. Rebound goes to Bryn Serban. Not a great shot there from Elena Rao. Yankel over to Serban, defended by Rao. 3 against 3. Now to Ward, top of the key. She gets her man in Serban. Now over to Stoller, over to Weeks, right wing, inside of Ward. Defended by Peoples O'Neill. Shot clock winding down, and they almost lose the ball. Sherman picks it up. She tries a three, can't hit. Loose rebound, picked up by Schaefer. Schaefer finds her man in Sauter. Now over to Rao, a three. Can't hit, and the rebound is out of bounds and will go to Ohio Northern off of Haley Peoples O'Neill as Jaden Hale checks back into the ball game for Ohio Northern.
Two great hustle plays back-to-back by Peoples O'Neill, though. We saw a massive block that ended Ohio Northern's possession, and then she very nearly saved the ball. Unfortunately, it goes back to ONU, but great play by Haley Peoples O'Neill.
As the Raiders get a turnover from Ohio Northern, Sauter to Schaefer. Turley in the lane, can't hit the floater. Out of bounds, off of Ohio Northern. As it is Alumni Day here for the women's basketball team. They had an alumni game here this morning, and we have seen quite a few Mount Union alumni. Rachel Tinky, Casey Morissette, and Al Kyer, just from teams in the few years past. Jamie Sanborn, all here back at campus to cheer on the Raiders. Sauter, with the shot clock winding down. Sauter driving baseline, kicks it out to Turley for three. Can't hit, and she gets her own rebound. Fresh shot clock here for the Raiders. Sauter inside, and a bad pass there from Schaefer, stolen away by the Polar Bears. They push, Hale on the other end, the layup can't hit. Rebound goes to Stoller, and we're going to get a foul called on Ohio Northern. And that will be on Alyssa Stoller, so the Raiders get the ball back. Madison Hensley checks in for Sarah Turley. And it looks like Brown and Gassman will also re-enter into the game. But Riley, you pointed out at the beginning of the game, Emily Mesher, a really strong force here for Ohio Northern. Haven't seen her a lot.
No, she hasn't hit the floor a lot, and I think it's because of the speed of this Purple Raider offense. They move at such a fast pace. I just don't know if the bigger, taller players can really move down the floor like that. So you're seeing a smaller lineup for Ohio Northern than usual.
Rao for three. No good. Rebound will go to Emily Brock, and we're going to get a foul called on Brianna Gassman. Another long scoring drought here from both teams. It's been 21-18 for a while here.
And if you've noticed, when Ohio Northern started to pull away, it's because they started hitting their mid-range and three-point jumpers. That's going to determine the game here, just watching it about one half. Whoever can hit those three-pointers and hit those mid-range jumpers, they're going to pull away with it.
Brock tries a long three, and that's good. Breaks the scoring drought, 24-18, Ohio Northern over Mount Union. And you're going to have to see Mount Union try and answer here with a couple big shots of their own. Brown and Gassman out to Maynard, top of the key. Now over to Schaefer. Schaefer tries a three. She hits it. Banking hours are open for Hannah Schaefer. 24-21, 3:40 to play. Brock now over for Ohio Northern. Brock in the lane, nice layup there. Hold two wide open. 26-21, 3:20 to play. Wow, driving. Kicks it out. Maynard for three. No good. Rebound goes to Alyssa Stoller. Other end here for Jacobs. And she'll try and slow things down for the Polar Bears. Brock, top of the key. Moving pick called on Alyssa Stoller. And another foul for Ohio Northern, second of the quarter.
And here comes Emily Mesher. Maybe we'll see her make the impact we expected in the latter part of the first half.
26-21, under 2:50 to play, second quarter. Gassman tries a three and can't rattle home. And we're going to get a foul call on Sarah Hessel. Underneath the basket, that's her first foul of the ball game. 5-point lead here for Ohio Northern. And they've had a lot of chances to try and pull away, but Mount Union's defense has been strong most of this game to keep themselves within reach of the Polar Bears. Brock on the left wing gets a pick from Mesher and tries to get it inside the Mesher, but a bad pass there from Brock. Another turnover for Ohio Northern. Raiders another chance here to cut it to a one-possession ball game. Hensley on the left wing. Gives it to Hessel, top of the key. Hessel driving, kicks it out to Rao. She tries a three. She hits! Number 3, 4-3. And it's back to a 2-point game. Under 2 to play. Hale to Jacobs, now over to Iliff. Brock, right wing, out to Hale. They get inside of Mesher. She kicks it back out to Hale. Hale tries a three. Airballs it. Rebound goes to Hensley. Hensley, other end. Right wing gives it to Rao. Rao, now over to Maynard. Thought about a three. Doesn't pull up. Now she drives. Pulls back. Hessel to Gassman. Gassman trying to drive through the lane. Kiss it out. Rao for three. Can't hit. Rebound goes to Brock. 1:10 to play, first half, 26-24 Ohio Northern. Hale, left wing, pulls back, gives it to Iliff. Iliff driving through, the floater is good, off the glass. 28-24, under a minute to play, for second quarter. Maynard tries to get it inside to Gassman, but it's stolen away by Ohio Northern. Errant turnover there for Mount Union. Hale. Top the key to Iliff, now over right wing, back to Brock. Now over to Jacobs. Back out to Iliff. This is Jacobs, now over to Hale. Hale tries to pull up, gives it inside to Mesher, and Mesher can't hit the layup. She still only has 4 points today. 15 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. Elena Rao will try and dribble this out for the last shot. Goes it to Maynard. Pick from Hessel. Maynard driving through the lane and foul on the way up, and she'll go to the line to shoot two and try and make this a 2-point game before halftime.
Great work by Maynard to drive the lane when Ohio Northern was least expecting it. When a team gets time like that and they're on course for the final shot, you almost always expect a good three ball or a wide open jumper. Maynard took it straight to the lane. They weren't ready for it. She had to get fouled. Now she's at the line for two.
Foul win against Emily Mesher. That's her first. Maynard at the line to shoot two. Haley Peoples-O'Neill and Annika Sweeney have checked into the ball game for the last 4.6 seconds as Maynard hits the front end of her two free throws. 28-25 Ohio Northern. Maynard connects 2 for 2. 2-point ball game. Serbin, 3 seconds left. Gives it half-court heave at the buzzer and hits the front end of the rim. Man, that was Emily Brock, who almost had a half-court heave at the buzzer. Luckily for Mount Union, did not fall, and so it's 28-26 Ohio Northern over Mount Union at halftime. Real quick, Riley, your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, and I think my thoughts are going to be pretty consistent. Whatever team is able to hit the most mid-range jumpers, the most three-pointers, those distant shots the second half, I really think they're going to pull away. We've seen both teams get hot and cold from that range. And the Raiders, for example, they came down big in the second quarter, but they were able to make it a 2-point game because they were able to hit those shots. Ohio Northern, they pulled away because they were able to hit those shots. So whichever team can really clean that part of their game up and make the big shots that count, this second half, they're going to pull away with it.
Yeah, it was a really good offensive first half for Mount Union, keeping Ohio Northern at bay. But the Polar Bears lead by 2 here at halftime, 28-26 over Mount Union. We'll take a break here at halftime at 91.1 WRMU. In 15 minutes, we'll come back for the second half of Mount Union women's basketball here on 91.1 WRMU. Test.
Check. I thought I was a little bit quiet first half. I don't know about you.
It's hard to tell with this thing.
Yeah, it is. I can't tell through my mic. Man, neither team has any scorer in double digits. Not even close. Rao has the most with 6 for us. And then who's number 10 for them? Emily Brock. 5. No, don't do this to me. My service likes to cut out in the MAC at just random times, even though I have 4 bars. What do the asterisks next to the name mean? Is that how many times they've lettered? Or what?
Probably.
I would assume so. Or like if they've lettered this season, you know?
Back here in Alliance, Ohio on 911 WRMU, Brennan DeVinny, Riley Sullivan here with you as the Mount Union women's basketball team is getting set for the second half here between the Raiders and the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Ohio Northern leading 28-26 as the Raiders with the ball to start the second half. It's Hensley, Rao, Peebles, O'Neill, Hessel, and Maynard on the floor to start the third quarter. And Riley, a lot of momentum for Mount Union at the end of that second quarter as they're hanging with a really good Ohio Northern team.
Yeah, they finished really strong and proved that they can compete with a team that's won 4 in a row. They're 14-4. So look for Mount Union to build off that this quarter and really see if they can pull away with this game.
As Peebles O'Neill tries to back down Mesher, Sarah Hessel gets the rebound, and on the putback, she's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot two, and fouled by Abby Weeks. As in the men's game between Ohio Northern and Mount Union, the Raiders beat Ohio Northern 75-63 earlier today. And John Carroll was able to beat Marietta, and that puts Mount Union in first place in the OAC standings as Sarah Hessel gets the second one to rattle home, and we are tied at 28 apiece as the Raiders bring that full court pressure. Yankel on the other end for Ohio Northern. Gives it to Weeks. Now over to Jacobs. Now Hale. Yankel. Left wing with Jacobs. Brings it around to Weeks. Polar Bears pushing it around here. Mesher inside, and she gets it to go.
Got away with a little bit of a push there towards the paint.
She now has 6. Hensley pulls up for 3, and she hits! And gives Mount Union the lead, 31-30. And that's just their second lead of the game since they led 2-0. Under 9 to play. Weeks kicks it out to Hale. Hill. Now out to Jacobs for 3. She hits. What an answer from Lexi Jacobs. 8.5 to play. Third quarter, 33-31 Ohio Northern. Hessel over to Hensley. Hensley driving, kicks it out. Maynard, a 3 ball. She hits. Coretta Maynard. Not one to utilize a 3-point shot a lot, but hits that one and gives Mount Union the lead back. 34-33, 8:10 to play. Pressure coming from Maynard on Hale. Hale now defended by Rao. Over to Weeks, double team. Now by Hessel, and we'll get a foul going against Sarah Hessel. Polar Bears the ball on the baseline. Jacobs to inbound, gives it to Yankel, top of the key. Over to Weeks, she pulls up for 3. Can't hit. Out of bounds on Hessel as she was battling Mesher there for the rebound. 7:56 to play, third quarter. Jacobs to inbound, finds Hale. Drives, gives it to Yankel for 3. Can't hit, rebound goes to Maynard. Maynard, other end, cross court to Hensley. Pulls up for 3. Oh, Madison Hensley. 4-point lead for Mount Union. 11 points for Madison Hensley. She leads the Raiders. First girl in double digits, and a timeout here from Ohio Northern. Riley. How about Hensley to light it up from behind the arc here?
And this is exactly what happened last week against Wilmington. The Raiders came down big out of the second quarter going into the third, and Hensley just lit up Wilmington. The same thing this week. She seems like she really comes alive in that second half, and when she comes alive, her teammates come alive around her. So look for Mount Union to really extend this lead. Hensley, she's a fire burner. She can turn the lights on quick.
Just a freshman guard, 5'8", out of Gahanna Lincoln, and she's been a spark. She's been a really large bright spot on this team.
And I think the best thing she brings to the game is she's never scared to shoot. If she sees an opening, she's going to take it, and when she hits, it gets the whole team going. And if she doesn't, so what? Most of the time we can make the best out of it.
Enter their starting lineup just a couple weeks ago, after not really even playing a lot in the beginning of the year. Mesher backing down Hessel, and she gets it to fall. 37-35. 7:10 to play, third quarter. Rao driving, and she gets fouled. Jaden Hale called for the foul, and that's her first of the ball game. Hensley to inbound, 7:09 to play, third quarter. Hessel, she's going to drive, try to find that lane, and she's going to get fouled also by Jacqueline Yankel. And quickly, 3 fouls on Ohio Northern here in the third quarter. Martrina Parks will check into the ball game for Yankel. On the baseline, the Raiders. Hensley, another 3. I think she got a little caught up in, that was kind of a heat check there for Hensley. Can't hit. Hale on the other end, and she connects. And Ohio Northern takes back the lead, 38-37. 6:45 to play. Inside, Gassman finds Hessel. Nice connection there, and the foul. Basket good, foul on Martrina Parks, and that's huge.
Yeah, the Raiders are very close to the bonus already, and I think that's important. If the Raiders get in the bonus, they have chance to get more free points, which haven't been easy to come by this game. So if the Raiders enter the bonus, it bodes really well for them the rest of this quarter.
3-point play good by Sarah Hessel at the line. 40-38 Mountain Union. Hannah Schaefer into the ball game, as well as Annika Sweeney. Full court press coming here from the Raiders. Sweeney defending Hale as they get it across half court. Hale trying to find Weeks there. She gives it out to Parks, top of the key. Now over to Jacobs, over to Weeks, right wing. Back to Jacobs. Now here's Hale driving through the lane. The floater is good. Jaden Hale, 9 points now, ties the ball game at 40. Turley. Now Schaefer inside to Gassman. Gassman loses the ball. And that's going to go off of Martrina Parks. Nice job there by Schaefer to just let it go. As Bryn Serbin and Zany Sauter check back in. Gassman along three, can't hit. Rebound goes to Weeks. Serbin to Weeks, then a Hale. 5:45 to play. We're tied at 40. Weeks along three. Can't hit. Rebound to Parks, and she's fouled by Schaefer underneath.
So much for the great defense that held up all first half. We've gotten a lot of points quick here from both teams. 28-26 going into halftime. Now it's tied up at 40 with less than 5 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, both teams have definitely found their stroke from behind the arc, as well as some inside play. Hale the drive. Got fouled and got the basket to go. Jaden Hale coming alive for Ohio Northern, fouled by Hannah Schaefer on the basket. And she'll go to the line to try and complete a 3-point play. That's Schaefer's second foul of the ball game as Hale connects on the and one. And she leads Ohio Northern with 11 points. Sauter hands off to Sweeney. Sweeney dancing around, gives it to Turley. Turley picked from Gassman. Turley out to Sauter. Sauter thought about a three, pulls back. Now to Schaefer. Over to Turley. Back to Schaefer. And the shot clock. Turley for Sauter for three. Can't hit. Rebound goes to Turley. Fresh shot clock here for Mountain Union. And we get a kickball violation on Sydney Ward. And the Raiders will get a new 20-second shot clock. 5:03 to play, third quarter. 3-point lead for the Polar Bears. Sauter, top of the key, defended by Serbin. Now over to Sweeney, defended by Brock. Raiders swinging around the arc. Here's Gassman at the horn. Can't hit. Rebound goes to Schaefer. Another offensive rebound. Gassman for three, and she hits. Talk about second, third opportunities.
Looks like Ohio Northern's going to want to make some substitutions after that last basket. I think some of their girls are just getting tired on the court.
Brock misses the rebound. And loses the ball, picked up by Gassman. No foul call on the baseline. Gassman keeps it in check, gives it over to Sauter as we're tied at 43 apiece with a little over 4 minutes to play. Third quarter. A closely contested matchup all day long here. Gassman driving through and gets the layup. What a move by Gassman. Gives the Raiders a 45-43 lead. Polar Bears beat the full court press. Hale, other end, defended by Sweeney. Will bring it out. Serbin now. Over to Parks. Parks driving baseline. And we're going to get a foul called on Brianna Gassman. And that's her second.
That was a good foul by Gassman, though. Rather than give Parks a wide open bucket, she sends her. They have to resort to an inbounds pass, so good foul by Gassman there to keep Ohio Northern away from the easy baskets.
Elena Rao, Kelsey Glass, and Haley Peoples-O'Neill check back into the ball game for Mount Union, as well as Abby Weeks and Kate Eiliff for Ohio Northern. Brings Serbin in the corner, defended by Sauter. Kicks it out. A long three from Brock. Air mails it, and it will go out of bounds on the Polar Bears. And the Raiders will get the ball back.
Surprising miss there by Brock. She's been on the money just about all day when she's shooting that three ball. Rare miss right there.
Now, that's not the first air ball today from Ohio Northern. They've had a couple large misses. 3 minutes exactly to go. Third quarter, Mount Union 45, Ohio Northern 43. Peoples-O'Neill fouled, trying to back down Sydney Ward. And that foul going to go against Bryn Serbin. Sarah Hessel back into the ball game for Mount Union, and with the Raiders in the bonus, Haley Peoples-O'Neill will go to the line. Misses the first.
Still, this is big for the Raiders. They're in the bonus with almost 3 minutes left in the quarter. They have some opportunities to draw some fouls and really do some damage here.
Can't hit the second. Rebound goes to Kate Eiliff. Rare double miss there from Haley Peoples-O'Neill at the free throw line. Eiliff top of the key, defended by Hessel. Out to Serbin. Driving through, kicks it out. Weeks for three, can't hit. Rebound goes to Serbin. Serbin pump fakes on the way up, but fouled. And she'll go to the line. Fouled by Sandy Sauter. As Corinna Maynard will check back into the ball game for her senior counterpart. Serbin at the line. Misses the first. They've had a lot of misses at the free throw line today. She hits the second, and so it's a 1 point ball game, 45-44. Raiders over the Polar Bears. Maynard picks up her dribble, gives it off to Rao. Rao with a pick from Haley Peoples-O'Neill. Rao, reverse layup, can't hit. Rebound goes to Ward. .2:12 to play. Brock over to Serbin to Weeks. Weeks driving through, and the layup. Nice move from Abby Weeks to give Ohio Northern back the lead. All the run here for Rao. Rao drives, blocked by Weeks, out of bounds. And they'll get the ball back as Emily Mesher and Madison Hensley check back into the ball game for their respective teams. Maynard inbounds it to Hessel. Hessel, nice defense there from Serbin, a jump ball, and it will go to Ohio Northern. Nice heads up play there from Bryn Serbin. 1:45 to play, third quarter. Brock loses the ball, but it's off of Elena Rao. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. And I think we're going to get another foul away from the ball. And that's going to go against Haley Peoples-O'Neill and send Emily Metcher to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's a tough break if you're Mount Union. You have to recognize Ohio Northern also in the bonus now. So every time there's a foul, you're sending them to the line too.
Emily Mesher connects. 47-45. And makes both. 3-point lead here for Ohio Northern. Rao. Pick from Peoples-O'Neill. Tries to send it inside. Stolen away by Mesher. And Ohio Northern will slow it down. Weeks, top of the key to Brock, inside to Mesher. Mesher backing down Peoples-O'Neill, and Mesher has now found her rhythm. 12 points for Mesher. Peoples-O'Neill loses the ball. Loose ball, jump ball. Possession arrow points to the Raiders. As Haley Peoples-O'Neill on the ground for that one. Kelsey Class into the game for Elena Rao. And a 5-point lead for Ohio Northern here with 1:06 to play in the third quarter. Brenna Maynard inside to Haley Peoples-O'Neill. Back out to Sarah Hessel for a long two. Can't hit. Fight for the rebound and another jump ball. And the possession arrow goes to the Polar Bears. They've had to change that arrow quite a bit here. Bad pass from Serbin, stolen away by Haley Peoples-O'Neill. And that's heads-up defense from your sophomore forward. 38 seconds left, third quarter. Hessel gives it to Hensley. Hensley pulls up for a three. Can't hit. Rebound goes to Hessel. Ashley goes to Hensley. New shot clock for the Raiders. Maynard will set things up. Gives it out to Hensley. Hensley with 8 on the shot clock. Loses the ball. Serbin with the steal. Now another fight for the loose ball on the Mount Union logo and another jump ball, and the possession arrow goes to the Raiders.
What do you say, Brendan? Do you think we hold on for the final shot, or do we keep up the pace and go for a bucket before the final 10.5 seconds are off of this third quarter?
Things have been so chaotic. I think you just want to get the final shot here and go into the break between the quarters. Hessel
Maynard wide open.
with 3 seconds. Go out to Hensley. Hensley pulls up. Airballs it at the buzzer. And that's your third quarter. 50-45 Ohio Northern over Mount Union. And a lot happening there between these two really gritty teams. 5-point lead for the Polar Bears, but Riley, we're Raiders within reach here. They had the lead there for a little bit, but gave it up. They're within fighting distance here. It doesn't seem like either team has the lead.
No, I don't think it's going to be cut and dry here this fourth quarter. I think it's going to be really close. And one thing that we haven't looked at is the head coach for Ohio Northern's women's basketball team, Michelle Duran. She's in her 19th season. And then Susie Vanette, her 15th season on the job. So these are old foes. They've played tons of games like this, and they know what works against the other coach at this point in their career. So look for a really well-coached fourth quarter and a really gritty fourth quarter closing on the final minute of that third. I expect both of those things to carry over.
Yeah, both, like you said, both coaches experienced within these elements of close games in the fourth quarter. And Mount Union not really, they've been used to these close games. You talked about it. You were on the call for the Wilmington game last week. Close game in the entire fourth quarter. came down to the last few seconds. This team is built for this game.
Yeah, this is a young team learning how to win, and they're finally starting to figure out how to close these really tight games. Haley Peoples O'Neill's 2 buzzer beaters in 1 week. See if she has a big fourth quarter.
As Ohio Northern with the ball to begin the fourth quarter, and it's stolen away by Maynard. Other end here for Brianna Gassman. Gassman, other end. Nice fast break play up there from Gassman. 50-47. Yankel, fouled by Hensley. Full court defense comes back to bite Hensley. As Elena Rao checks in for the freshman. That's Hensley's second, and you really don't want her to get in the foul trouble if you need her shot at the end of the game. 9:35 to play, fourth quarter. Jacobs to Hale, now over to Yankel. Hale out to Eilert for 3. Can't hit, rebound goes to Rao. Rao pushes on the other end. Gonna go coast to coast, kicks it out to Glass. They had a shot there, but Rao fouled on the pass by Jacobs. As Abby Weeks checks back into the ball game for Iliff.
One thing that shows your team's really well coached is when you can make a good foul. We've seen a lot of that this game, so props to both teams and both coaches making great fouls to kill some momentum.
Rao inside, no foul call. Now there's a travel call on Rao, and she's in disbelief. But I think she just ran into Mesher there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Susie Van Et's very happy about that one either. Very calm when she gets angry.
Polar Bears break the full court press. Yankel to Jacobs, now over to Weeks. Picked from Mesher. Jacobs in the lane, puts it up off the glass, and a nice play there from Ohio Northern, 52-47. As Maynard and Rao, a little confusion, forced Susie Vanette to call a timeout. It'll be just a 30-second timeout. 8:40 to play, and plays like that in the lane is what Ohio Northern has really found themselves a lot of success today. It hasn't really been that three-point shot.
Yeah, they've done a really good job either moving in the post or opening up the lane, tricking Mount Union to believe that they're going to take that long shot and then taking a higher percentage one at the end. So great job by Ohio Northern today. And the Raiders have done a good job of doing that as well. I just don't think they've had as many opportunities like that today.
Kelsey Glass to inbound here out of the timeout. Glass moves it around, gives it to Rao. Rao pulls up for 3. She connects! Elena Rao, a quiet 9 points today for her, all from behind the arc. Makes it a 2-point ball game, 8:20 to play. Hale gives off to Jacobs. Weeks inside to Hale now. Thought that was easy, but rebound goes to Mesher, and Mesher finishes the job. 54-50, 8 to play. Gassman hands off to Hessel, now over to Glass, a long 3. Rattles out, and rebound goes to Mesher. Weeks inside to Mesher. Mesher bounce pass to Jacobs, fouled on the way up by Maynard. Not much you can do there if you're Corinna Maynard.
No, she stood pat and had her hands straight up, just still able to draw the contact on the shot, so Ohio Northern goes up for 2, but really that was good defense by Corinna Maynard.
Madison Hensley and Haley Peoples O'Neill check back into the ball game for the Raiders as Jacobs misses the front end of her 2 free throws. makes a second, and it's back to a 5-point game. Maynard on the other end here for Mount Union. Rao off to Hensley. Working around the perimeter to Hessel. Now out to Maynard. Inside of Peoples O'Neill. Picks up her dribble, trying to find someone, gives it to Hensley. Here's Rao. Rao pulls back, gives it inside to Hessel. Hessel backing down, the shot can't go. Rebound to Peoples O'Neill. And we're going to get a jump ball. Looks like one ref wanted the foul, the other wanted the jump ball, and we will get a jump ball, and we'll stay with the Raiders. Maynard inbound with 20 on the shot clock. Inside, Hensley out to Peoples O'Neill. Here's Maynard. Inside of Rao. Rao backing down Hale. Blocked by Hale. Rebound to Peoples O'Neill. And eventually, Jacobs gets the rebound. Excuse me, that's Iliff. Iliff loses the ball. Maynard falls on top of it. And we're going to get another jump ball. If I had $1 for every jump ball there was today. Obviously, the possession arrow in favor of Ohio Northern. Weeks inbounds at the Jacobs. Pick from Yankel. Off to Weeks. Inside Ward now. Ward backing down Peoples O'Neill. And that shot no good. Rebound to Hannah Schaefer. Hensley off to Sweeney for three. That's good. Annika Sweeney, her first points of the game comes at the right time. 53-55, 6:10 to play. Brock out to Yankel for three. She answers. Back to a 5-point game. 58-53 Ohio Northern. Peoples O'Neill inside, backing down, and she has had a rough game inside. Call for the jump ball there. Luckily, the possession arrow in favor of the Raiders.
I'm not a huge fan of the jump ball call there. It really looked like she had had her arm grabbed or wrist hit, and you can tell by her reaction. So, good thing that the ball stays with the Raiders, but surprising that it was a jump ball call.
She'll take a seat. Brianna Gassman back into the ball game for the Raiders. Maynard to inbound. Try to get it inside to Gassman, but it goes off her foot and out of bounds. A bad turnover there for Mount Union. With 5:44 to go in this one. Pressure coming from the Raiders on the full court D. Yankel trying to escape. Gives it to Serban, who gives it out to Brock. Yankel to Weeks. Brock thought about a three, pulls back, gives it inside to Ward. Wide open, Sydney Ward under the basket. And it looks like either Schaefer or Gassman lost her assignment on that one. And a much needed timeout from Susie Vanette and Mount Union. A 7-point game, and you don't want this to get any more further away from you.
Yeah, I agree. And great play by Ohio Northern to send Mount Union into that timeout. They've been driving to the hoop all game, making the easy baskets. And now when they have to drive to the hoop, they're drawing double teams. They're able to kick it for easy buckets too. So great play design, great calling by Ohio Northern. Just how will Mount Union retaliate? They can't bite them on double team like that.
Right now you got two of your leading scorers out on the floor for Mount Union. Madison Hensley with 11 and Brianna Gassman with 11. You also have a couple other hot shooters in Corinna Maynard and Annika Sweeney, who both capable of hitting that three ball. and Elena Rao. Sweeney inside to Maynard, and she gets swatted by Ward. .450 to play, and we'll get a foul call on, it looks like Bryn Serbin, drawn by Maynard. That's her second. 4:51 to go. Schaefer trying to drive. Kicks it out to Sweeney. Sweeney along three. And she hits! And that's why she's in the ball game right now. 60-56 Mount Ohio Northern. Raiders down 4. 4:35 to play. Weeks driving in the lane. Too easy. 62-56. 6-point game. Rao pulls up for three. That's blocked. And it's going to go out of bounds on Sydney Ward. Rao blocked by Hale as Sarah Hessel and Madison Hensley check back into the ball game. Not a great shot there from Rao. I think she was feeling momentum more than anything. Gassman driving. Kicks it out to Maynard for three. That's good! And it's back to a 3-point game. 62-59. 3-point ball, keeping the Raiders in this one. Serbin over to Yankel. Driving against Hessel, and Hessel's call for the foul.
Starting to see Ohio Northern attack almost exclusively on the baseline. They must have seen something that they really like there, where Mount Union just doesn't switch as fast as they possibly should, or some type of weakness. That's about the third or fourth play in a row where Ohio Northern has just been attacking that baseline, and they've been extremely successful with it.
Drawing the fouls, that's a third one on Hessel. Weeks in the lane, she gets fouled. Also, nope, that one is on Madison Hensley. And that will send Weeks to the line to shoot two. Makes the first. And makes the second. Iliff into the ball game for Ohio Northern. 3:42 to play. Fourth quarter. 5-point game. Sweeney off to Hessel. Hessel trying to find someone. Everyone's pretty much locked up. Sweeney. Thought out three, gives it inside to Peoples O'Neill. Peoples O'Neill off to Maynard. 6 on the shot clock. Maynard off to Hessel. Hessel's got to go. Puts it up. Can't hit. Rebound goes to Mesher. Nice defense there from the Polar Bears. 3:10 to play. 5-point game. Ohio Northern trying to fend off this Mount Union team. We're going to get a foul called on Annika Sweeney. Locked up with Abby Weeks there. 3:03 to play. And main issue right now for the Raiders is they're getting into foul trouble here. Ohio Northern really taking their opportunities when they see them.
Yeah, and that makes things difficult if you're able to close this gap and you have to make some big plays with less than a minute left. You can't foul at all. You have to just let Ohio Northern take their shots. But if you play aggressive defense, try to make a turnover, force a turnover, you might end up with a foul on your hands. So that does complicate things for the Raiders.
66-59. Ohio Northern over the Raiders. Does Mount Union have another major comeback in them like they did last weekend? Maynard, thought out three, gives it inside to Peoples O'Neill. Now out to Maynard. Maynard got to go. Sweeney tries the ball for three, gets blocked by Weeks, and the rebound goes to Serban. 2:25 to play. Time not on Mount Union's side. Iliff to Weeks. Now over to Hale. Iliff, defended by Hessel. Iliff is going to go, drive, Hale, travels. Big turnover there for Ohio Northern, and the Raiders will have to take advantage of that one as Brianna Gassman checks back into the ball game. As Jacqueline Yankel will also return the ball game for the Polar Bears. 2:04 to go. And we'll get a timeout called from CC Vanette and the Raiders. Riley 2:02 to play, down 7. Still got a chance, but you got to do a lot of work here in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, the Purple Raiders have just been taking way too long to get their shots off. Props to Ohio Northern. They've been playing some smothering defense, but really the Raiders need a three really bad right now. And then they need to quickly get a turnover or force the Polar Bears into a bad shot so they can get the ball back. There's a lot to do with not a lot of time left.
Yeah, that's been the main issue here. They have not been able to keep Ohio Northern's offense off the board here in the fourth quarter. Main reason being they've kept sending them to the free throw line, but if they can lock down on D here a little better, they've got a chance. But yeah, Zanny Sauter back into the ball game here for Mount Union. Kelsey Glass also on the floor now. Offensive foul called on Mount Union. That hurts even more. Called on Zanny Sauter with 1:52 to play.
You can tell Mount Union really wanted a three, inserting Zanny Sauter back into the game despite the size disadvantage.
And on cue, she takes another seat. And Maynard returns to the floor. 1:42 to play. Weeks out to Yankel. Now stolen by Rao. Rao, other end. Got to score here. Fouled on the way up. And she'll go to the line to shoot two with 1:33 to play. Big steal there from Elena Rao.
And it hurts that couldn't just fall in for her. Instead, she's got to settle for two at the line instead of a guaranteed two and maybe a three.
That would have been huge if she got that and one to go. You can also tell here from here on out, every substitution is going to be strategical. Sending in Hessel and Gassman here to either rebound or get back on D and play defense.
And the good news is, even if she makes one of these free throws, it's a two-score game. So
Yep.
Mount Union, much better to be a two-score game than a three-score.
Makes both. 66-61, 5-point game. Brock to inbound. Gives it to Serban. Serban double team. Pressure coming. Timeout Ohio Northern. 1:30 to play. As Haley Peoples O'Neill will get ready to check back into the ball game. Mount Union doing everything they can here to try and get a much needed win. They have won 4 out of their last 6. They've been playing some of their best basketball of the year. But these close late games have been kind of the formula for their wins mostly. Serban, defended by Rao, gives it to Yankel. Maynard, and they're going to get the 8-second violation. Huge defensive stand there for the Raiders. As Sweeney and Glass check back into the ball game for Hensley and Hessel. That's odd. I would think you'd want Hensley out there on the floor, but it looks like they just want that 2-point shot here.
Yeah, they're definitely going for sure bucket. Hensley, albeit she can make those good deep shots, she's a little inconsistent. They're going for consistency. You absolutely need points on this possession.
1:15 to play. Rao with the ball. Gives it to Sweeney. Sweeney defended by Weeks. Now picked from Peoples O'Neill. Sweeney over to Glass. Glass to Rao. Rao inside to Peoples O'Neill. Out to Glass. Glass a pick. Inside to Peoples O'Neill. And we're going to get a foul called on Ohio Northern. And against Abby Weeks, drawn by Annika Sweeney.
That's a good foul if you're Ohio Northern, because you had one to give, and that gives Mount Union more shot clock. They haven't really been able to navigate around your defense. Now they have to do it for another 30 seconds if they can't get an open shot.
Hessel and Hensley back into the ball game, and we're going to get another timeout here from Susie Vanette and the Raiders. You have to get a shot here. If you don't, then you got to play the foul game, and you really don't want to put yourself in that situation.
And one of your next two shots has to be a three-pointer. That's what complicates things even more. You're down by 5.
If it's one girl here you want to put the ball in your hands, Riley, who's that going to be?
And I know she's a freshman, but she's been playing really well lately. I mean, you almost have to give the ball to Hensley. She has the hot hand. We've seen it the past 2 weeks. She can hit the 3-ball when it counts most, and that energizes the players around her. So if you can get it in Hensley's hands, I think that's where it needs to be. But also, Elena Rao, super experienced, also very good three-point shooter. One of the older leaders of this team. She would also be a great target to get the ball to.
A lot of experience on this team, but also a lot of youth as well. So it's Rao, Maynard, Peoples O'Neill, Hessel, and Hensley on the floor here for Mount Union with 55.4 to play. 66-61 Ohio Northern. They give it in to Hessel. Here's Rao, hands it off to Hensley. Over to Maynard, left wing. Over to Hessel now. Driving, kicks it out. Rao blocked on the three-point attempt. Hessel gets the rebound, and we're going to get a jump ball, and possession arrow points to the Polar Bears. Man, a lot of their three-point attempts have been swatted in the air today, and that has not helped. We're going to get another timeout from Ohio Northern. That was not what you wanted. It looked like it was probably what they drew up, but just didn't end up going well for him.
Yeah, and that's the slight size difference. That's where that height comes in. Ohio Northern, their 5 starters, 5'7", 5'9", 5'7", 5'10", and 6 feet tall. Mount Union, their 4 starters, 5'7", 5'5", 5'8", 5'10", and 5'10". So in the front court, you have that size. You can match up with the Polar Bears, but in the back court, just a few inches can really mean the difference between a wide open shot and a blocked one.
Raiders in that position now where you have about 10 seconds until you probably want to foul here. They give it into Hale. Hale brings it out. Over to Weeks. Weeks double teamed. Gets away, gives it to Servin. And now Mount Union probably going to want to foul here. And Weeks fouled by Hensley. So Weeks will go to the line to shoot 2. .7 to go. Sweeney, Glass, and Gassman check into the game for Mount Union. Raiders they were in striking distance for the majority of this game as Weeks hits the first one. But down the stretch, just could not hit their shots as Weeks makes both. 7-point game. Sydney Ward checks in for Mesher, and we're going to get another timeout from Susie Vanette and the Raiders. And that's their last timeout.
Yeah, with 26 seconds left and a 7-point deficit, doesn't look like the Raiders are going to come back from this one, but they still played a really good game. Props to Ohio Northern, but one thing to look at, like you said earlier, there's only 2 seniors on this Mount Union roster, and a lot of the women getting playing time are freshmen or sophomores and a few juniors, so certainly a lot to look forward to in Ohio Northern. 4 of their key players are all seniors. So this young Raiders team really has a lot to grow with and a lot to work with in the future.
And after this game, they will have 6 more on their schedule, 3 away, 3 at home. They head to Muskingum on Wednesday and Otterbein next Saturday. And they have 2 of the top 4 teams remaining on their schedule as well, and Baldwin Wallace and Capital. Those are their last 2 games on their schedule. 68-61, 25 seconds remaining. Rao stepped out of bounds on her trip to a reverse layup. And another timeout from Ohio Northern. That was probably the last thing you wanted.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see what slimmer of hope you had left, unfortunately vaporized with that step on the baseline. Ohio Northern presumably taking a timeout just to send in some reserves, or their key starters, I'm not sure which. But this game's pretty comfortably over, I would say.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because you had a lead there in the third quarter for a while. And it's not like Ohio Northern really ran away with this one. They still had to play really tough defense on the Raiders' offense, and they were able to capitalize on a lot of turnovers and mistakes that Mount Union made as well. As the Raiders come out of the timeout here with Hensley, Rao, Maynard, Hessel, and Glass. Ohio Northern to inbound on the sideline. It'll be Servin, and she's fouled by Maynard. Hessel, rather.
While Servin lines up for 2, we'll just look at some of the key players of this game. Ohio Northern led by Abby Weeks with 14 points and 4 rebounds. She went 7 of 8 from the line, so a lot of her damage came from the free throw stripe. Emily Mesher also led 6 of 11 for 14 points and 2 for 2 from the free throw line, also contributing 4 rebounds. And Jaden Hale with a great game, 12 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. She went 1 for 3 from 3-point stripe.
Servin makes both. And 22 seconds left to go. Sauter into the game. Tries to go coast to coast. Falls on the ground. Keeps her dribble up. And eventually we'll get a jump ball between Sauter and Iliff. Possession arrow has the ball staying with the Raiders. Rao pulls up for a jumper, and she hits to make it a 7-point game. 12 seconds left. And Iliff will break the press, and the Raiders won't foul. And Ohio Northern hangs on to knock off Mount Union 70-63 and improve to 15-4 and 9-3 in the OAC. Mount Union falls to 10-9 and 4-8 in conference play. Riley, you mentioned the players of the game there, though, just recently, but Ohio Northern, you kind of saw why, that they're now the third best team in the conference.
Yeah, and this conference really isn't separated by much. The talent level of each team is pretty similar. Belden Wallace kind of out ahead of everyone, nationally ranked.
Yeah.
A very highly regarded team, but as you can see, Ohio Northern, they're 15-4 now, the Raiders 10-9, and there's not much that separates them. So great game by Ohio Northern, and certainly the Raiders too. It was fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, Mountain Union in the last few weeks here they've been playing really gritty basketball, keeping themselves in the game no matter who they're playing. They almost knocked off 16-2 John Carroll Wednesday night. Mountain Union, they're a really good team, just a little inexperienced there in some areas. They're really close to being a contender. It's just the little things that are keeping them from competing in the conference.
I agree, and eventually those things get ironed out. As the season has gone on, we've seen these women play better and better. They've kept their games tight, no big losses, and so in the future it'll only get better from here. They'll keep improving, and I think we'll see that a lot over the final few games of this season, and certainly it will carry over in the next season.
Well, that will do it here from the MAC on the campus of the University of Mountain Union. Final score here today, Ohio Northern 70, Mountain Union 63. We'll be back on air Wednesday night with men's basketball as they face Muskingum here at home. But until then, we'll send it back to our original scheduled Saturday programming here on 91.1 WRMU from Riley Sullivan. I'm Brendan Devaney saying have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.